I'm Donna Wolfe from Naztazia.com. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet an African flower coin purse. To do this, you will need some worsted weight yarn, an H-hook, a 5-inch purse frame, some felt, and embroidery floss. Be sure to check out the written pattern on my website, Naztazia.com. This is an intermediate pattern, so be sure to review my basics of crochet videos if you need assistance. To begin, start with the magic loop, which is just a loose slip knot. Be sure to pause the video and rewind or fast forward if a part goes too fast or too slow for you. Then chain 1. Next, do 2 double crochets followed by a chain 1. Do 2 more double crochets, then a chain 1. Continue with 2 double crochets, 1 chain, until you have 6 sets of 2 double crochets around. At the end, do your final chain 1, then use the tail end to pull the center ring closed tightly. Cut your first yarn to prepare for the next color change. Begin the first part of your slip stitch. Join the new color yarn and use that yarn to finish the slip stitch. To begin the next round, chain 5. Do 2 double crochet stitches in that same space, which is ever so slightly behind the chains you just made. Chain 1. Find your next space and do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets all in that same space. Chain 1. Move to the next space and repeat the process. Do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets all in that same space. Then chain 1. Repeat this process all around with the 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets followed by a chain 1. At the end of this round, do your final chain 1, then do 1 double crochet in that first space next to your beginning chain 5. Slip stitch to the 3rd chain. Chain 3 to begin the next round. Do 6 double crochets all in that same space. Then chain 1. Find your next space, and in this one, do 7 double crochet stitches all in that same space. Then chain 1. Find your next space and repeat the process. 7 double crochets all in that same space, followed by a chain 1. Keep doing this process all the way around. At the end, do your final chain 1, then begin a slip stitch with the same yarn. Drop this yarn and grab the next color yarn. Use this new color yarn to finish your slip stitch. chain 1. And don't forget to cut off your previous color yarn like I just did. Now, single crochet in the same space as the chain 1 you just made. Then do 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. We're going to do 1 elongated single crochet. You'll do this like a regular crochet, except you'll reach down into the second space below, and then you'll have to draw up your loop a little higher and finish off your single crochet stitch. Now we'll do 1 single crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. It's time for another elongated single crochet stitch. Reach down into the second space from below. Pull your loop up a little higher than normal, then finish off your single crochet stitch. Keep repeating this pattern of 7 single crochets followed by 1 long single crochet all the way around. At the end, after your final long single crochet, begin a slip stitch. Cut your yarn, then get ready to attach your new color yarn. Finish your slip stitch with this new color yarn. This final round will begin with the chain 3. Do 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Now, in the next stitch, do 1 double crochet, chain 1, then another double crochet, all in that same stitch. Next, do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Skip over that elongated single crochet stitch from before. Do 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. In that next stitch, do 1 double crochet, chain 1, and 1 double crochet all in the same stitch. Then do 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Skip that long single crochet again. Keep following this pattern around. Do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Do 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Then do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And skip the next long single crochet. At the end, don't slip stitch, but do cut your yarn. Pull your yarn through and tighten it. Take a yarn needle and thread it with the end of the yarn. We're going to make a nice seamless join at the top. Insert your needle in the beginning stitch from back to front. Then enter your needle from the front to the back of the last double crochet you made. Because the back side will be inside the purse with a lining over it, you won't see it. So instead of weaving in the ends, I just tie knots in the back with the beginning and ending yarn strands of each color. Cut the excess yarn strands. If you want to add an extra layer of protection, put a dot or 2 of fabric glue to hold the knots in place and let dry before proceeding. You are going to need to make 2 of those African flower motifs for this purse. Put the back sides together and have the good sides facing out towards you. You can use safety pins or paper clips to hold the 2 motifs in place at the corners so that you sew them together correctly. And I just do a simple whip stitch around the edges. Remember to leave an opening at the top of the purse for the frame. I'm a big fan of craft felt for purse linings. I like to fold my felt in half first, then place my African flower on top of it for measurements. You can use chalk or a white crayon for marking the cut lines on dark felt, or a regular black crayon or marker for lighter colored felt. Then I cut the shape out, but I don't cut along the fold. This way, that's one less edging I have to sew together. Measure and trim it a few more times if necessary. Next, I take some embroidery floss in a matching color and a hand sewing needle, and I just hand sew around the lining to close it up. Feel free to machine sew this for a stronger hold. Be sure to leave an opening at the top for the purse. Today's craft felt is nice because most of it is machine washable and dryable, plus it won't fray along the edges like woven fabric does. I like to take some embroidery floss and sew the lining to the yarn part of the purse. Again, I just use a basic whip stitch with the hand sewing needle to do this. Continue around the first side, then pivot your work and continue sewing the lining to the yarn part of the purse on the other side as well. You might want to put a few extra stitches in the corners just to reinforce the purse. Cut and weave in all ends once completed. Then open the purse up and check to make sure everything looks good. There are several types of purse frames. Some are sew-on, some glue-on, some squeeze-on. This one with the holes is the type that I would sew the purse to the frame. I line it up the best that I can, then taking some embroidery floss and a thin sewing needle, I sew the purse onto the frame. I tried to pierce both the yarn and felt lining a bit to give it a good solid hold. Granted, this is handcrafted and not machine made, so you might have some stitches visible here and there. If this bothers you, you might be able to use a screwdriver to push the lining up a bit more into the frame. Then you can get a pair of pliers with a piece of scrap felt to serve as a cushion for the purse frame and squeeze the purse frame along the edges. And here's the finished item. I hope this video has helped you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit my website at Naztazia.com for more tips and tricks on creative, self-sufficient living.